on to H2.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, good morning. This matter comes on to the agenda for two reasons. One is fulfilling my obligation under the ordinances as they're currently drafted, and secondly, because I was asked to agendize this by a member of this board. Specifically, as to the former, the ordinance, which is in effect currently related to the salaries of the members of the Board of Supervisors, speaks to the proposition that when the Superior Court judges receive a salary increase, the auditor is to inform the board, and as necessary, the county council is to present an amended ordinance to this board for consideration of an increase to so reflect. So working with the auditor, basically, we became aware of that proposed increase, that not proposed, but that increase of Superior Court judges effective July 1. We got a notification of that sometime in August, and consequently you have the ordinance presented to you. I drafted the ordinance to reflect what appears to be the standard that has been enunciated in the current ordinance and previous ordinances, and that is that salaries of this Board of Supervisors is at least initially contemplated to be 25% of that of a Superior Court judge, and that is why it was proposed in the manner in which it was. What I also did was I included a budget printout, if you will, which Ms. Morgan helped prepare, and you'll see those at the end of the packet, at the end of the packet, and my crude handwriting there at the bottom, which says budget cost for salary as it stands now, and circled that amount in the upper right-hand portion, that's $286, and then the next page, which is budget cost for salary as proposed, and circled in the upper right as well, that's $361. And then I also asked her to prepare, just as a matter of presenting it to you for your consideration, budget cost for salary halfway between what it is now and the 25% of what a Superior Court judge makes, and that's $324,279. So that is the reason that's on the agenda today. It's an ordinance, and so consequently there are some formalities associated with that, but I don't think that's where the discussion is going to be. So as far as I'm concerned, I fulfilled my obligation under the ordinance and presented it as required. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Bergen. Okay. Discussion.
Okay.
Question to Bob.
Now, are all the counties in the state supervisors and commissioners and such, whatever they call them, and their salaries are attached to the judges? Or is that a unique thing? Or?
It's not required by law, no. I think some do. I think that convention is employed not just for members of boards of supervisors in some counties, but I think that convention is employed for other positions across the state. And so I don't know from where it stems. I don't know what the origin is of it, but it is not required by law.
Okay.
So.
To help answer your question, Tom, there are some counties that are charter counties, and they're very limited on what their supervisor salaries are. In some cases, like in Tama County, they're very minimal. And you get down into San Bernardino, I do believe that the supervisor salary down there is like $250,000 a year. So it's even more than what the judges make. So I mean, it's kind of
All over the board.
Yeah, I think it's all over the map, that's correct. But I think back in the 90s is where this percentage of judges' salary became kind of a popular method used to sprinkle throughout the counties, rural counties as well as urban counties. I think it kind of started in the urban counties like San Diego and some of those. And from my recollection, because it's been a while since we had this item before, but I think my recollection was it was a grand jury somewhere in one of those counties came up with a proposal. And they don't do 25% of the salary. I think down in San Diego County, it's like 60% of the salary. So depending upon the size of the county, but in the small rural counties, I guess 25% was what became kind of there are several of them I think that use that. Whether they, in our case, I think the board in the past, and even though that was what was the standard used, you can adopt where there was less than that, and that's what the board has chosen to do in the last adjusted salary back in 2000, 2002, somewhere around there. It's been a few years past.
Good. More questions from Mr. Burns? If not, with the discussion, any board members want to speak up on this agenda item? What is the action of the board? We can take no action on it. At this point, I see no motion or
So this would be an ordinance, so what, we would have a reading and then another reading and then.
The way it would, Mr. Chairman, if I may,
Yes, sir.
I don't know.
the way it would go is someone would have to move to introduce it in its current form, and then it would either need to be read or, if you all by motion, waive reading. That's the first, that would be today's date. And then we'd have to have it on the agenda again more than 5 days from today for a subsequent, for possible adoption on the introduced ordinance. That's how that would proceed. If there are changes to it, there would need to be changes to it before the introduction of it. Otherwise, it might change the step.
At the next reading.
Well, there's only one reading required. I said one reading required. Sorry. Only one reading required unless you all waive that. That could either occur today or at a second meeting of this board. But the point is that if there's a change to the language as it's proposed here, it would need to occur before its introduction, before someone moved to introduce it, and that was approved. Otherwise, it might stall the time frame over the number of meetings that might be required for adoption. Did that make sense?
It did.
Okay.
So,
Did I
follow-up
answer your question?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
but to expand that now, so now, as it does move forward, okay, and there is changes, does it go through the reading process again, or is it?
Possibly, yes. I need to examine that.
Only if there's changes. Only if there's changes.
Or
I
for-
didn't call you, Mr.
I know.
Just wait till the.
I don't have any reason to disagree with that
Your question been answered.
in and of itself.
Question been answered, Eric.
Yes.
Do you have any more questions?
I have no more questions this time.
It's public. Mrs. Spencer, do you have a question?
For the record, or your records, in 2002, the silly language of the judge relationship was put into your ordinance. You took no action on it until 2007, and again, this is based on public record, which you took a beating on. Even the Lassen County Times wrote an editorial on 6/23/07, which I have a copy of, chastising you for attempting to invoke that 25%. We gave you a letter today. It says, "Dear Supervisors, in 2013 you voted a pay increase for yourselves. Can we help disclose that the supervisors were receiving at the time in excess of the $35,485 amount salary stated in Title II, Chapter 236.030. The public is not aware of the actual payments made to you each year, and you don't really volunteer them. In 2014 and 2015 fiscal year, Mr. Chapman received $58,463.41 in salary and county paid benefits. Mr. Powell received $58,463.44 in salary and county paid benefits. Mr. Hammond received $55,319.98 in salary and county paid benefits. County Council is suggesting that the supervisors vote themselves an $11,775 raise today. However, did not take into the consideration that this would not be a competitive salary. In Butte County, the supervisors represent each 44,000 people in their district and are paid $53,014. In Shasta County, the supervisors represent 35,720 constituents and are paid $53,508. Plymouth County, a little different, probably more comparable to Lassen. Their supervisors represent 3,929 people and are paid $35,050. But that's a true salary. That's a true compensation. Lassen County supervisors, the 5 of you, represent approximately 4,684 people. And presently, the public thinks you earn $35,485 in salary, but aren't aware of the $58,000 that you actually receive. This action today would be excessive and unwarranted, and we suggest that this agenda item be removed from discussion. The supervisors are presently paid more than a competitive salary plus benefits. The fact that you've brought the sheriff's department to an impasse when you have so much money, hidden and non-hidden, that you could make them competitive and you could pay them so the people will stay here. The people that do the work, you don't do the work. You attend one meeting, and it's, you know, you may think you work, it may be work for you, attending one meeting, Bob, because I know you need to be on your ranch. But the people, the department heads, they do the work for you, and they need to be fairly compensated. And to bring the sheriff's department to an impasse is disgusting. To not pay the people that do the work, the caretakers and the Lassen Works and the One Stop people and all of the people that actually do the work for the people. For you to ask for this $11,000 raise, almost $12,000 raise, I don't know, you ought to be ashamed. You're getting a competitive wage right now. More than competitive wage right now. So I urge you to remove this from, I mean, if you want to make a lot of people mad and piss them off, take the $11,000 a year raise and see what happens. It'll be the same thing as 2007. I'm done.
Thank you for your comment. At this point, I have not asked for nothing. Okay, anybody else in the public wish to speak?
Teresa Anderosi. I was a Lassen resident for a little bit. I moved out of this county because I don't like the things that I see. I'm very appalled by what I'm hearing today. You know, I deal with a lot of counties, so I know a lot of county CEOs make tons and tons of dollars. I know board of supervisors for part-time make tons and tons of dollars. You know, the salary you make is what I am lucky to get for a year for a part-time position. But, you know, when you have your peace officers, your home care workers, your sheriff in impasse, and for the home care workers, we didn't even get to impasse. Yeah. We had mediation that we didn't even get. It was canceled twice. These are poverty people taking care of the people in this community. And I mean, wake up. This is crazy that your people that protect the people in this community, the people who keep these people out of hospitals in this community, are up here begging for some help.
Thank you for your comment.